So first of all, it all starts at the physical layer. We are the only OEM manufacturer of servers out there today that actually designs and builds our own ASIC for our BMC. And that's something that hopefully many of you know the name of. That's what we call ILO. So ILO has been around for many, many years. And ILO is built and designed by us because it lets us put all of the things on that ASIC that we know we need, and none of the things that we don't need, so you don't pay for those things. But why is that valuable? Well, every single year at Black Hat, other security conferences, we hear about things like bootloader vulnerabilities. That very, very first step of booting up a system where the server is vulnerable to attack before most BMCs have kicked in and allowed their security to really take hold. That's not an issue for us because we've actually burned hash values down into the silicon itself, allowing the very first handshake at the time of boot to be secure. And that's critical because if you don't lay that foundation, then nothing else we're going to talk about here matters, because you've already lost the battle. So ILO allows you to do that to start with. Now, another great thing that we've introduced last generation was the ability to add in a trusted supply chain feature. Meaning, not only can we secure the hardware, but we can help you secure and have peace of mind that that system has gone from the factory all the way to your site in a known state, that you can track it, you know where it's been, you know who's touched it, you know what's changed. We have now expanded that ability to the entire rack scale level. So an entire rack of systems can be secured in transit to your site. So once we lay that foundation of security, well, now we can start doing some cool stuff. Right? So new features we've added here in Gen 12. The first one you see there is something that we call the Secure Enclave. Now, Secure Enclave for us, you can think about this as a vault that's within the ASIC itself. And what it's doing, it's protecting all of those server critical secrets that exist there to help protect your data. And a lot of customers, I was talking to our CTO about this, a lot of customers immediately go, well, nobody's going to break into my data center, right? Putting a chip clip onto my system while it's in production, that's not really something I'm worried about. But that's not the threat, right? The real threat is that a customer buys that system legitimately, and that they take that system and they clip onto it and they steal those secrets and use those then to attack other customers. So with this Secure Enclave in place, those secrets are protected physically. You can't access them from physically outside of the system. So those secrets can't be stolen. They can't be used to then attack other customer systems. So this is unique. Only HPE does this. The next thing you'll see on this slide is quantum resistance. So we are the first in the industry to build in post-quantum cryptography. I was just joking that I've yet to say that correct the entire week. Post-quantum crypto into our systems to protect your firmware. So we're the first in the industry to do this. We don't think we'll be the last. The US government, in fact, is requiring this to be in all new systems that they purchase by 2027. Many other governments around the world have similar requirements. We believe that this is necessary now because the systems that you buy today will likely still be in production, I would hope, in 2027, much less 3-5 years later. In fact, many of you want to run your systems longer, so having that protection in place is absolutely critical. Beyond that, we know that threat actors are out there collecting data now so that they can decrypt that information once quantum computing becomes real in 5 years or so. So being prepared early is absolutely critical. We are there today. Finally, what you see on here is FIPS 140-3 Level 3 requirements. So we are in the process of testing this with the US government. And what this really means is this is the highest level of FIPS of any OEM out there for a BMC today. And it really has to do with physical penetration. So that comes back to that Secure Enclave and our ability to protect a system physically better than any other server vendor out there. We don't stop at the system, though. We take that store and we build it from the silicon, from the server, up into the cloud. And this is where our software comes into play with HPE Compute Ops Management. So hopefully you've heard us talk about Compute Ops Management, or COM as we call it, over the last few years. It's a really great SaaS-based cloud tool that we have that extends the value of ILO from a single system up into the cloud so that you can see your servers regardless of where they sit, whether that's a data center, whether that's out on the edge, somewhere between, and you can manage those systems holistically. So we've added security features in COM as well. We have a security dashboard that we announced earlier this year that lets you see the security status of all of your systems across your environment right there in one easy-to-use location. You can then make updates to the firmware policies. You can change settings. Pretty much anything you can do in ILO, you can access in COM.